Hello, hello, can you hear me? Oh, that's a weird noise I can hear in my headphones. That. No, it's me. Hang on. Mute myself. There we go, that's better. Hello, everyone. Sorry for the slight technical difficulty there. Hope you're all well today. Thank you for joining today's stream. So, just to say hello, I'm Theo. If you don't know me, this is your first time joining the channel. I'm one of the co-creators of the Holmwood Foundation. The other is online. They are just starting their drawing stream. They're currently on mute in another parallel scene to this one, but just wanted to, yeah. Um, hmm. So I'm going to quickly open Georgia up now, so she can talk to us. So give me a second. I can make sure she can be heard. And Georgia, can you talk for us?
Hello.
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 So you can't see
I'm
Georgia,
here.
but I can see her because she's going to have her drawing stream up. So I'm going to, in just a second, move over to Georgia's drawing screen. But lovely to see everybody. Thank you for joining us, and let's get this party started. So, oh, hello, dear. Nice to see you. Right, so I'm going to move over to the drawing stream.
I'm doing a draw. Well, at the moment, I'm doing a trace of my own work. I'm so sorry you had to see this. I am doing a comic that someone suggested on Tumblr. I tried to find the username a couple of seconds ago and I couldn't scroll through our Tumblr, so I'm really sorry. My God, what happened to Jeremy's neck? We're going to fix that in a second. But yeah, I've already started, so you can see what a mess it looks like when I draw. And I haven't had anyone looking over my shoulder in about, I want to say 4 years since I was working in studio. And my boss sent a poor intern to go look over my shoulder for 3 days. And we both had a wonderful time cringing at me painting concept art. So we're going to have some fun drawing Jeremy and Maddie, well, Johnny and Mina, Jeremy and Maddie, Jeremy and Maddie. Somebody asked to see Johnny and Mina having a lovely little time together and then switching suddenly back to Jeremy and Maddie, who obviously do not like each other as much. So we're going to see if we can do that. Otherwise, I'll take some requests from the chat. So if anyone has anything they would like me to draw, please do put it down, and I might switch to that because obviously a comic is much a bit more in depth, and we definitely won't finish it in this stream. Yeah.
Thank you, Georgia. Thank you for that lovely little summary. And also, I love your work. So, do not worry. We're going to
I'm
really
gonna fix
enjoy
that.
watching you work. It's all fine. Yeah, so if anyone has any questions in the chat, anything at all, do let me know. I will be your facilitator for this evening while Georgia concentrates on the drawing. And yeah, I hope everyone's having a lovely Halloween. We had plans for a Halloween costume thing, but we never got round to doing it.
We did. We were going to dress as John and Martin
Yes, we were. We were gonna do.
from a certain well-known podcast.
Yes, yes, we
Oh,
were.
who they have found you on TikTok recently,
Yes, I don't know
Theo.
if anyone here is aware. I unfortunately, well, I say unfortunately, it's been a lot of fun. I've been described as kind of a Martin Blackwood lookalike. So Martin is a character in the Magnus Archives, who is like a kind of lovable archivist, and he gets quite flustered and quite nervous, but he has my body type. People have said he's also trans. um, he has my
I think that's
glasses.
it's a well-liked headcanon,
Yes, well liked
but
headcanon.
we're very happy to take that
We
on.
will take that on, absolutely. But anyway, we were kind of fooling around with it on TikTok the other day, and it went quite viral because it's had 42 thousand views, with most people being relatively positive. So, yeah, very weird. Well, we're just trying to get Holmwood made, so it's kind of weird to go viral for something completely different from Holmwood, or maybe not too different. Yeah, so that's what that is. So, yeah, as we have no questions in the chat, all we do, we have a comment in the chat from Elliot. I tried listening to TMA once, but I got too scared because I don't like unexplained horror. This is fair.
It's definitely all about unexplained horror. Is TMA. That's its whole MO.
Yeah, we are not unexplained horror. Everything has a reason in our horror.
Is our horror is explained?
I think it's explained. Yes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, Georgia, talk me through your process a bit, because I understand obviously how to draw.
Yeah.
But how do you go about like laying down lines and stuff for a drawing?
Well, I think most people have really only seen either my sketches, my bobbles, or my finished paintings, which I do for us with Holmwood. I've done Maddie in the Archives, and I've done the gang in the woods. Most of my stuff, when you first see it, looks like that. It's an absolute mess. Horrendous. Why is Jeremy looking weird? We're gonna move away from Jeremy for a second. So I'll look at my middle panel. That's the least. So I will always start with red lines. So I'll go in with just a very quick thumbnail sketch, is what you call it, of what the thing is. It's very sketchy. It's often not on model, not in proportion, but it does sort of basically tell you what's going to happen. I mean, that's the underpainting. So that's what this one up here looked like before I started messing around with it. And then this is obviously the next step on from that. So as you can see, it's literally just stick figures, which is all good and dandy. We like stick figures. And then that's the underpainting to what's going to happen. So because I've already drawn Jeremy and Maddie quite a lot, and for a second when I was setting this up, I thought I hadn't drawn them in front view, and then I was going to just do a little section of drawing them in front view, but I have actually drawn them vaguely in front view before, obviously not with the right expressions, which is hilarious. So I just put that into place. I don't know if people know, but my main job outside of script writing is I am a character designer for animation, which is slightly different from sort of cartoonist or concept artist, but it's all about being economic with your drawing and making everything on model. So a tip that I learned, and I think this is also good for comics as well, and people will tell you, you have to draw everything over and over and over again. You don't. If you've got an angle that already fits, reuse it, or reuse the bits that you can. So in this section, I can't reuse all of what I've drawn with Maddie and Jeremy, and this is an old Maddie. I think this is the first time I ever drew Maddie, back when she had a different surname and we hadn't written Holmwood yet. So she's not quite on model, but we can use it. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to change their expressions. So I've also got some reference up.
Wait a second. Jeremy has different expressions than that one.
I know, it's very rare. He's going across the moors with this face on the entire way. So I'm going to get that down a bit, and then I'm going to change that to red. This is another thing I learned in animation school, is sketching in red is quite useful. So
very cool. So while you're doing that, I'm going to have a little look and see. I've let everyone know that we've started. I'm just going to let people know that we've started. Now check the chat in case anyone has any questions. So please do ask us questions, whether they're Holmwood related, drawing related, whatever you like. And as a reminder, the Kickstarter is in the pinned message on the chat box. So if you do want to support us in any way, please do. We want to get this made. We want people to see it. and the only way we're going to be able to do that is, by you guys helping us. So, yeah, I'm just going to really quickly tweet this. So, stream
And
is
again, if there's
live.
anything that anyone wants me to draw, I just started drawing this as something to have up on the stream. But if there's anything that you would like to see me do more than this, let me know.
Have been enjoying George's trick or treat drawings today. If you've not seen those, they are all over Twitter. People were asking for trick or treat in our inbox, and has led to some quite fun responses. So they could be quite fun to bring up at some point. Let's have a little look and just let everyone know.
I will happily draw people some trick or treats. I've already drawn the bucket. I was doing it when I should have been setting this up. But it was a nice warm up. I'm going to try and fix Maddie's face to make him more level as well.
Amazing. Right, let's just check the chat. Nothing new. We currently have 7 viewers according to Streamlabs. So hello, all of you. Where are you coming from? Did you find us via Tumblr? Did you find us via TikTok? Because I did post on TikTok as well. Do let us know and say hi and let us know where you've come from today. Whilst I let everyone know that we are live.
Where did I put it? I don't know.
I love Maddie's expression.
There they are.
Hello, Lou. We have a Lou in the chat.
Hello. Okay, that's like that now, I believe. Is it? No, it's the other way around, isn't it? Oh, no. I've confused myself now.
It's okay.
Can't remember what way Maddie's hair goes. Which way the swoosh goes.
It's the other way, isn't it? I'll check. I'll check for you. I find the drawings.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's have a look. See, we keep on getting booped on Tumblr, which is confusing me. Right, let's go find pictures of Maddie. We will find her. Oh, I noticed, so in one of the trick or treat inboxes
yes.
that Georgia drew today, included the vampire different like media content, and you put Daybreakers right at the front.
I love Daybreakers. It's a highly underrated and my favourite vampire film. So of course it's going in the trick or treat bucket.
By the way, you're correct. It is how you're drawing it. No,
good.
Hang on.
So it's this.
No,
this
sorry. No. It's the other way. Other way.
Oh,
I confused myself.
Something. No, I've drawn it wrong in I won't tell you which one. I've drawn it wrong in one of them.
Okay. Fine. It's fine. I think I know which one it is, but it's fine. It's fine. It's no worries. We're allowed to get these sort of things wrong. Don't worry. It's just a drawing. It's just a drawing. It's all good.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to open Zoom then. Don't open Zoom. Okay. So Lou has told us, I have finished packing and attending to the constant stream of adorable children. And they,
Ah, yes, the
um,
trick or treaters.
and them have turned off the booping. I shall not be booped, is what they've said. So if you're not sure what the booping is relation
Oh,
to,
yes.
Tumblr have allowed you to boop other people, um, which is fine in context. But I think we had like 60 notifications, and all of them were boops. And we
I
got
think we've been booped about 600 times, and we've booped about 5 people. It was a mistake on my part. I turned on the boop
did you?
out of curiosity, and
Oh,
it was an incorrect time. I'm sorry, darling.
right. So it's you that's to blame for my
Actually,
excitement.
it's my fault.
To then
Yeah.
realise I thought someone like massive had retweeted Holmwood or something. It's like,
No, no, it was just
it's
me.
just boops. It's just being booped.
Just boops.
Ah,
She's still wonderful. Wonderful to be wanted.
wonderful to someone to look at us and go, that's an
They
account
need they
that
need
deserves a boop, which we do. But if we could translate those boops into money, that would be great.
into Kickstarter.
Into Kickstarter coins. Every boop is £1. Let's go. It's like Jeremy Swearjar, except nicer. My God, Jeremy being booped is just the funniest thing
But
to think about.
oh god, horrendous. It's like I'm just going to look up. I've got Pinterest on my iPad next to me, and I'm going to look up what suit jacket arms do.
The joys of drawing.
It's all looking at references.
Mwahahaha. Okay. We have been booped again. We've been sent evil boops. I don't know where this revenge is
Yeah,
coming from.
you gotta do a revenge on your evil boops. I'm gonna have to leave that to you, darling. That you've got to take revenge.
Yeah, okay, we can do that. Fine. Okay. Cool. So yeah, so where is everybody else coming from? I know where Lou is. And I think I know where Elliot is. But yeah, let us know where you're joining us from today, and if you have any questions for us regarding Holmwood, do let us know. And obviously, if anyone is around, based in the UK, there is an event that me and Georgia and Lou in the chat will be at on Saturday, which is Yorjo Hub Podfest, which is an amazing little event where a load of people passionate about podcasting will be getting together, and there'll be some workshops in sound design, workshops for writing, and George and I are going to be on a panel with Emily Inkpen
Discussing fundraising.
talking about fundraising, because we're fundraising right now, and it's hard work. It's very hard work. We're very happy to do it.
We planned to be finished by the time it was going to be, and if we'd done it correctly, then we were going to talk about that, and if we hadn't done it correctly, we were going to talk about that as well. But times changed for us with the production of the pilot, so we had to push back by a couple of weeks. So now we have been caught in the middle of crowdfunding, so we'll talk about that instead.
Yeah, trying to
It's all
keep the
good. It's
energy
all
alive,
good.
which I think we're doing. We're doing all right. I think we're talking about it every day, and
We're being very, very annoying on social media.
very
We're very
annoying,
sorry.
which is what we have to do. If big companies can do it, so can we. Yeah, and just finding different ways to reach different audiences, because that is kind of the game at the end of the day. Because I'm sure there's lots of people who would enjoy Homewood, much like yourselves. You've come to listen to us talk about things today and support us, but if it's 6 viewers, let's say, it's trying to find out what else we could do to get people, you know, to listen really and to engage in the content and be willing to part a little bit with their money. And again, we don't want everyone to give us a fortune, but like what we were saying earlier about the Magnus Archives TikTok we did, it was just a fun little thing that we were kind of joshing around with, and it led to 42,000 people looking at a video that we'd made. And it's just a shame that it wasn't aimed at people who could support us with Holmwood in the same way, because if every view was £1, then we would be able to fund Holmwood and then some. But that's just not how it works. So it really is one of those things of like, no matter how small a donation you think you might give us, it's still better than nothing at all if you can. And also, there's so much weight in a review. There's so much weight in telling your friends you're excited about a thing. The amount of times I've listened to stuff or bought a book or watched a film because someone has told me it's very good. So we have a comment in the chat, Georgia, from, I'm going to get this wrong, it's Phoebonica, I believe. Lou is also saying that we are being interesting on social media, so I assume that's a good thing. But Phoebonica said, I'm here from Tumblr too. I sent you some of those boops, so I apologise from my part in the notification flood. Not at all. It's all in good fun. It's just very funny to be like, oh, I wonder what these activity is, and it's not Homeward related, it's boops. But thank you for joining us.
We missed the April Fool's Day boops. It was just before we started our Homeward Tumblr, so I was on my main Tumblr and I missed it.
Ah, yes. Gotta love a boop. Yeah, trying to think.
I'm always cheeky. I would love to see people drawing Jeremy and Maddie. For my own gratification, I'd love to see how people see them. Obviously, these are just our own designs for these guys, but they are by no means the canon designs. This is just, I'm basically drawing fan art of my own show, because this is how I do things. I draw things. But I would love to know how people visualize them. If you listen to Jeremy and you just see Narvin, that's entirely valid. Just wait for that to flip.
That's okay. We have some more messages in the chat. So I'm not gonna be able to pronounce this right. So sorry. I think it's Margan Art, or however you pronounced it. Hello, Margan. So they've said, I sympathise. When a post takes off, you can't get loads of eyes on your work. You can get loads of eyes on your work, but it's harder to find the right audience. And I agree entirely. As a as a fan artist, before I became a writer, you just never know what's going to be popular. Like you can draw something from the heart that you think is going to be something that people really want to look at, but it's going to be that kind of little doodle that you did that took you 5 minutes compared to the painting you spent a week on. And it's like, okay, fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, it's nice.
The whims of the internet, the whims of the algorithm.
We just never know. Ah, cool. Thank you, Morgan. We got it right. That's great. But yeah, it is very complicated when it comes to that sort of thing. Yeah, Lou saying, oof, yes, my Silt Versus art's got a wild number of reblogs, and I have no idea why. Probably because I don't think I've seen a lot of art for Silt Versus, and I think, again...
Oh, I've seen so much.
Have you?
You don't have the right dash, my darling. Silt Versus is stunning.
I don't have the right dash, thank you. Okay, thank you for calling me out. I've been called out. Okay. Yeah. Apparently Lou says it's a mystery, but apparently it's not. Apparently Silt Versus gets a lot of art. Okay.
I say this, I really like the Silt Versus. I'm a big fan. I think I auditioned for the last season. Ooh. There's one of those things where it's like, I'm just happy to be here. Obviously I didn't get a part. But I'm just happy to see it.
Hmm. Very, very cool. So yeah, how is the drawing going? Because I've been concentrating on the talking, so I haven't really been looking as much.
I'm at the moment trying to fix Jeremy's weirdness. Something's going on with him. Something's always going on with him.
So, yeah, sounds about right. To be fair,
He's got a certain je ne sais quoi to his shoulders right now.
very 80s shoulder
Um,
pads.
he's got some shoulder pads going on. I mean, I always draw him with a little bit of a shoulder pad because he's a man with a shoulder pad, but this is incorrect.
I mean,
Maddie's fine. Maddie's behaving.
I mean,
It's
technically,
just
this
the lab.
isn't Jeremy Maddie though. This is John and
No, this is
Lena.
true. This is Johnny. So I'm sorry, Jeremy. I called you out when really it's the other you.
It's the other you.
Speaking of which, I'm very excited to talk to Sean next week
Mm.
to
Yes.
plug our other thing.
For those who do not know, we are delighted that Mr. Sean Carlson is going to chat to us about
This boy.
about this one, about everything Jeremy
Yeah.
Jonathan related, maybe about voice acting, maybe about Big Finish, maybe about Narvin, if he wants to. We're thinking of sending over a few questions ahead of time so he's not jump scared, so he can ask us about questions about Jeremy if he doesn't know the answers, which is fair enough as he's only
There
been
are
in one
certain bits
episode.
about the show that he doesn't yet know.
Yes.
There are certain aspects because we've written all of the first season, but we have not given all of the first season scripts to our actors because obviously we're still crowdfunding. So there are aspects that he is not yet privy to.
Yes.
Although he is privy to a lot more than we had told people. So
yeah.
I should have drawn more of this suit because that's okay.
It's all good. Don't worry. You're fine. I always find collars difficult. Don't know why.
I've drawn collars are interesting. My art teacher in school taught us how to draw collars, and I remember the tip, and then I tried to implement the tip, and that tip does not work. It does not get implemented. And also, I tend to draw Jeremy because he's on the run and having a bad time with a not very. Oh no, that is this much at all. A bit of a messy collar anyway.
Mm. Yeah, but I kind of like that about him. Like he just looks like a man who does well. He doesn't look like he belongs in a suit for a start most of the time when you draw him. But at the same time, you can't imagine him wearing anything else.
That man was born in a suit.
Yeah.
He hangs himself up in a wardrobe, and a little coat hanger to sleep, like his papa.
Like his papa.
Like his papa.
That was a very fun secret to keep quite a while. I mean, I think some people might have known.
I think it was quite easy to guess, but
I can't remember because when we did the casting call, did we mention that in the casting call or did we remove it?
We did. That's why I put a little disclaimer in the casting thing that it contained spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
Just in case people were interested but weren't interested in applying for voice, so they didn't suddenly get spoiled.
Very cool. Very cool.
I'm very excited by our Johnny 3 that we have.
Yes.
That we've cast. He's very, very good.
He is very good. I think the moment you heard him, you were like, "That's
excellent.
Johnny. That's Johnny."
We got some really excellent Johnny. We got some really excellent everyone's actually. It's quite annoying when you get like just everyone is excellent, and you can only pick one of the excellent people. I want to cast everyone. It's every role.
Yeah, it very much is like that.
Especially when we were casting Dracula, it was like, oh, everyone's very, very good.
Yeah, we
can only have one Dracula.
I think we had 70 Draculas apply.
We did.
Which, considering we were only casting for one character and no one had heard anything of Holmwood yet, that was quite tough. it was at least 70 people,
Oh
and
yeah.
we were absolutely terrified. Um, so yeah, it was, yeah, oof indeed. Um, but yeah, so we've got some comments in the chat, so let's see what those comments are. So yeah, Lou is agreeing about the Silk versus community, because the Silk versus is a work of art.
Oh, it
Um,
really is.
and then Lou was saying, when actors start improving the character I wrote, I'm like, I never. You're right though, as a comment, which I
Oh,
think,
that's us with Rebecca and Maddie.
yeah, so
Like
Rebecca was
Rebecca
amazing.
just came in and knew immediately, and we were like, okay.
She understands this woman, and we are gonna let
She
her just
understood the
vibe.
assignment.
Yeah, she was awesome. Yeah, I think like some of the best stuff about recording was Rebecca just getting in there and being like,
Yeah.
I think, based on what you've written, I think Maddie might say this, and we're like, yeah, yeah, that sounds great.
Bearing in mind for various technical difficulties that were beyond our control, she hadn't gotten a hold of the script until the night before.
Yeah,
So we were a bit like, oh, damn, are we gonna need to, is she gonna need a little extra time to read through it? This is not ideal. And she just came in and she knew it, and she'd had thoughts and she had feelings and regarding Maddie, and she was all go, and it was amazing. I will sing our actors' praises for a very long time. They are amazing.
I mean, all of them were amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
we didn't hear Arthur's voice because we Sam is our director as well as playing Arthur Jones, and we didn't hear his voice as Arthur until we got the first edit.
yeah.
Um,
He didn't do it on the day because he was busy wrangling everyone else,
yeah,
and he was like, "Oh, I'll do it, a little bit later when I'm at my recording." And it was amazing.
just knocked it right out of the park. We just were
Right.
grinning from ear to ear the entire time we were listening to him. So yes, we have some more comments from Lou. Oh yeah, just regarding picking actors, like yeah, in the end, I just have to pick the one that sounds most like the character sounded in my head, which
Yeah,
makes sense. Yeah, absolutely, especially with Dracula. Attila was the first person to apply
yeah,
as Dracula, and his Dracula made me shiver. Like his audition piece was so amazing. Um, so yeah, so that there was that. Um, and yeah, like even for like the casting calls for season two, it was so season one. uh, so much wish for season two, let alone season one. But yeah, in terms of getting our Tom, getting Johnny 3, getting Henry, it's like it's so hard to describe what you're looking for, and when you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, that one. Or if you're like not quite sure between these two and like having to work out like who these characters interact with and making sure they don't sound the
Oh, it
same.
was, yeah, there was something that we hadn't considered as, people who usually just write this stuff and then hand it over to directors and casting, is you can't have two characters that are going to talk to each other who sound similar,
Hmm.
because, there's a chance, other people aren't going to be listening very hard, which is, most of us listen to stuff while we're doing other things, or just in general, if you have two characters who sound similar to each other in a scene, it's going to sound like one person talking to themselves, which in our case invariably they are talking to themselves, but it's a thing you've got to be really careful. So when we were casting, especially people who were going to be interacting with Jeremy or Maddie, we had to make sure we were casting people who didn't sound like Sean and Rebecca,
Hmm.
especially sort of casting Johnny 3 and Tom. We had to make sure that they didn't sound too much like Sean's cadence, otherwise it was going to start to be confusing, um, who was who.
Hmm.
And that was something we'd never had to consider before, was, oh yeah, because you can't see these people, it is entirely based on voice, which I thought was a very interesting learning process.
Yeah, absolutely. It was mad.
Maddie's hair is defeating me.
Defeating you? Never.
We
Don't let it
cannot
win.
win. Oh Little hair is defeating me.
No,
That's a bit better.
I love it. Lou actually mentioned in the chat the actor is actually called Attila for Dracula. That is his name, Attila Pushkas. Yep. Pushkas.
He's brilliant. He is a Romanian actor, which was really important for us with Dracula. We wanted to be we were very conscious of it in our casting, and we're so lucky that we found a Romanian Dracula.
Lou's saying in the chat, yeah, we didn't seem to have that sound similar issue, but because we had no RP, no Midwest rule. I deliberately picked as much voice diversity as possible, which I think is really cool. Our priority was local accents from maritime areas, which again, this is for Ela's Choice, I believe. So Lou, please do, if you want to put anything in the chat for Ela's Choice and share that with our team that are here today. Please do. You just never know who might be here, who hasn't heard of Ela's Choice, who would like to listen to it. Please do. But yeah, it was interesting. I recently did a recording. So I'll talk about one that I can actually talk about. So I did for the Doctor Who universe. I did a story that's set on Gallifrey, but it's set in like kind of I don't want to call it lowlands because my memory has completely escaped me, but basically it's kind of like the kind of like the rough city areas.
Oh, Lowtown.
Lowtown. Yes, sorry. I wanted to say lowlands and I was like, I know that's wrong. It's been so long since I've set foot into that area. But anyway, yeah, so it was Lowtown. So like kind of like the kind of scrappy underbelly.
This was you writing Transference.
Yes, when I wrote Transference for Gallifrey War Room. And yes, everyone who was in the town, I gave like a non-RP accent or kind of implied kind of like a Cockney-esque or like lots of different types of accents because most of the time Time Lords are written with a very high RP or like you say Midwest kind of accent when we're doing Gallifrey stuff. So it was really, really nice to do, you know, Gallifreyans and Time Lords with, you know, what's up, governor, sort of like vibe. I say as someone who was born very close to London and has a bit of a Cockney accent, tiny bit. I can kind of slip into it. I don't actually, when I'm back home, back in that kind of area and I'm with my dad, it does come out. Not so much when I'm talking to Georgia. Actually, I think, Georgia, you make me kind of smarten my accent up.
Me and my posh ways.
You and your posh ways. But yes. Not all the time, but some of the time. But yes, you can find Ela's Choice wherever you get your podcast. Please go do check that out. Lou said Lowlands, Dumfries and Gallifrey. Yeah, very true, very true. I really love watching you draw, by the way. I just think it's such an like I can't figure out your process in your head, but I just love watching it. I think it's because I think when I draw stuff, I'm just like, here's the head and here's the eyes, and I just do not have the same way of drawing.
I'm drawing a lot more blind than I usually do because most of what I do, that's why I set it up beforehand, is I'm scrolling Pinterest for reference because I don't always trust my internal memory too much. So this is a lot less reference scanning than I usually do. So it's a bit more rough and ready, but I'm fine with that. I'm chill. I'm just doing. Oh, where did it go? I got rid of it. It vanished. There we go. I'm not even touching this bit yet. It's the most hilarious section. It's
beautiful. Love it. Do we have any other artists in the chat? Like, what is your guys' process like? I believe Margin, I think I've seen your art before. If you wanted to let us know about your process, that would be lovely. But yeah, anyone else here do any artwork, and what's their process like? Is it I mean, I know lots of people have very different ways of doing art, even digital artists. I know I tend to do a lot of like initial tracing, and then I go into the tracing and kind of pick out the bits that I like and then redraw, and I just constantly redraw until I'm happy with the lines. Um, so yeah. Elliot says, I have no artistic ability, I am words only. There is nothing wrong with being words only, my guy. I for a long time I thought I was going to be words only because my animation degree, everyone there was so good that I was like, I must be awful. And then I stopped drawing for a long time. And then I picked it up again when I got into Doctor Who, funnily enough. But, yeah. So don't worry. Lou says, yeah, same. Pretty much a words and music void. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, I'm very jealous of people who can do music. I think music is such a special thing to be able to create.
Yeah, music is completely it's an aspect of art that has always completely eluded me. I'm very much in awe of people who understand music. I used to sing. I used to sing show tune, but I would have to learn by ear because I can't read music. But so it's magic.
Absolutely. And the same, like I can't sing. I've done karaoke before, not well, and now I'm on testosterone.
So to be
Attempting,
fair, when you're done, your voice is currently in the middle of changing slightly.
yeah, it is kind of doing a thing of, which is quite terrifying actually, because every so often I'll look at old videos of myself talking and I'll be like, who is that? Yeah, which is a bit crazy. Um, but yes, anyway, what I was saying. Yeah, I can't sing, but I can play the drums a little bit. So I understand rhythm, but so creating like a melody on something, like I understand how you're supposed to do it in practice, but I just couldn't tell you musically how to do it. Man, it's just insane. We have some lovely comments in the chat, and we have some other people joining us, so let's give a read of those. Welcome everybody who has joined.
People,
Thank you, people, for joining
I
us.
cannot see the. I'm completely blind to the chat, so Theo's having to
This
tell
is
me
why
what's
I'm
going on.
here.
I'm having
This
to
is
trust him. Yep,
You're having to trust me.
I'm having to trust you.
What's that about? Don't you trust me anyway? Makes it sound like I'm useless. Anyway, okay. So we'll move on to the chat. Bone Worms, welcome Bone Worms. Welcome to joining us. All my art is circles. I fear I only draw circles. Pardon me. Sorry. I was told once that if you can draw a good circle, you can draw most things.
I mean, that's yeah. Most
I
most
don't.
things are circles and lines.
So if you can draw circles, you can draw a line.
You're in a good way. You're doing well.
Oh, sorry for yawning. That was not fun. Okay, right. Next comment. So Margan said, I used to work in Photoshop, but I've recently switched over to Clip Studio Paint. But my process is pretty much the same. First sketch, rough lines, value blocking, cleanup, and then colour rendering. Thank you,
Yeah.
Margan. That's basically what I do, but it's just a lot. Like for me, it's initial tracing to build up that first sketch, and obviously, we can see that what George has been up to, which is very much the same process in terms of just building upon sketches.
What's up with Jeremy's head?
What's up with Jeremy's head? What's up with Jeremy just in general, really?
I'm gonna steal his head from down here.
Do it.
Every time I go down there, I'm like, I'm gonna have to touch that at some point. I drew this for myself.
It's beautiful. I love it.
I'm hoping someone gives me something new to draw before I have to approach the bottom panel. But there we go.
So Lou said, I can vaguely remember how to read music, but mostly I compose by vibes. That's cool. Please.
Vibes is good. Vibes.
We like vibes. I art by vibes. Like my lighting and shadowing, painting wise, is vibes. It's never correct. I don't care. I'm just going with it. I go with the flow. I think George's is a little bit more refined than mine because the light source seems to hit things and it makes more sense. But you were taught how to do it and I just kind of stumbled in the dark. So that's fun. So that's cool. Next comment. I'm not sure what you're saying, Nasuta. Many jawed possum. That's so real. I'm assuming about the vibes or just about music in general. Lou, I'm getting the hang of my new baritone. Somewhere I've got a file of myself singing in harmony with my pretty voice. That is so cool. Please, I want to hear that. That sounds amazing. I did something very similar the other day. I found, so as you may or may not know, some of you, I'm a big Doctor Who fan, and my two favourite characters are Barbara Wright and Ian Chesterton from the first Doctor era. And I, for some reason, I don't know why, I had recorded me doing all of Barbara's lines in a scene. I think I was trying to prove that I could do an RP accent. I can't, not really. But it was from like 5 years ago, so it was still my pre-T voice, and I was like, my voice has changed. So I then recorded all the lines that were Ian Chesterton's lines, and I put them together, and it's crazy. Like, the people who've like sung with their pre-T voice, or like have conversations with their pre-T voice, just, oh my god, it's amazing. I just love listening to it. It's such a nice thing to hear. But yes, Lou, I really want to listen to that. Please, please, please. And yes, Lou, I'll show you that. So I will show you the Ian and Barbara scene, and you can show me your pre-T voice singing, and we'll be golden over the weekend. Let's look. So, Many Jawed Possum, welcome. Planning to audition for a musical while my voice is changing, but I'm sure it's a great idea. Definitely do it anyway. If you're feeling confident, absolutely do it. Margin said hello. Lou said, "What's up with with Jeremy?" He says the people who wrote him. I mean, we say that constantly. Yeah. Jeremy. I mean, how does one describe Jeremy? Like I think I tried in a TikTok to be like, how do I describe Jeremy? He, like, in one TikTok I described him as a wet cat. Which people seem to really approve of the idea.
He's not so much a wet cat as he's the kind of wet cat that will bite you. He's a bitey boy.
Yeah, but part of me feels like he's a lot more. He looks more vicious than he actually. Yeah,
he's all swearing and running away.
So he's really the cat that looks threatening, but the moment you go up to him, he scarpers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. Absolutely. Yes.
Put my lines on different. I'm doing what you should never do. I put all of my lines for different panels on different layers, and now I've lost them.
Oh no.
Ah well. Oh well. This has turned into another sketch stage, so we're golden.
That's all right. It looks good to me. I love his, like, befuddled. The befuddled expressions are great. That's the changing from Johnny Amina to Joan and Maddie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Love it. Yay. Apparently, wet cat men are all the rage these days.
Oh, they are.
There was a discussion. I haven't seen it yet, but the new. What's the one where you can't talk? The new horror movie, which is all about you can't speak.
Oh yes, The Quiet Place.
Yes, so the Quiet Place, which had Joseph Quinn, and I want to say Lupita, and a cat.
Oh, I love her. Yes.
Yes, I want to see
Yes,
that
I've
because
heard
I'm
the
told
me
that
of
it's very us.
yes.
Like we were
See, I've
told
I've
directly that there are characters in this that you'll love. Go see this film.
I mean, I've told this story to Theo, and Theo already knows it because I made him watch it, and I tell it to everyone who mentions this man to me, but no one else in the chat has heard this story, so I'm going to say it. I love Joseph very, very, very much. I'm so glad he's had his moment. Like he seems to be like climbing, but I know him specifically from a BBC show that was briefly on TV and then cancelled called Dickensian, which is basically the Marvel Cinematic Universe if it was all Dickens characters, and it's very, very good, and I like it very, very much. I think it was basically a murder mystery as to who killed uh, Marley
Mm.
from Christmas Carol. But Joseph Quinn was in that, and he was a little rat man, a horrible little rat man. And so whenever I see him, I'm always like, oh, it's the horrible little rat man, which is probably not the greatest thing when Hollywood is trying to sell him as the leading man.
Oh no, I think you have misunderstood. Hollywood have realised that they really like the Little Rat Man.
Oh, I mean, like, but he's a genuinely terrible little rat man in Dickensian, which is great. I love it very much, and I'm very sad we never got to see the end of his arc because he's Miss Havisham's brother.
Mm.
Um, but I will always only know him as Miss Havisham's brother. But I highly recommend Dickensian. It's very, very good.
Okay, we have Liz Horan. Hopefully, I'm saying that correct. First time in the chat. Thank you so much. Hey, I know Dickensian. I can second the recommend. So that's good.
Yeah,
I
hidden gem.
I watched the first episode with you. It was
Yes.
good.
So I was like,
I liked it.
John Heffernan's in this. I need to show it to you. And
Yes,
then we didn't finish watching it.
because I don't know if the chat. Shall we explain to the chat about John Heffernan slightly?
Um, we went to go see him in a play on our first date, and
Yes.
he keeps popping up.
He keeps cropping up.
And he is in Big Finish as a
Yes.
character called the Nine, who is the character that I started writing for Big Finish because I wanted to write for him, and now I don't think we're ever going to get another box set with him in because John Heffernan is now too busy and famous and very, very talented. And so he just keeps cropping up in our lives, which is very funny. And also he played Jonathan Harker in Dracula 2020, he's still the best Jonathan Harker, even though Dracula 2020 is a mess, and beautifully so. But yeah, that's
literally all I was going to say is John Heffernan is the archetypal Jonathan Harker.
Yes.
He's great. No slander for his Johnny here. It's not his fault that it's all
It's just
not
the
great.
rest of it.
It's just the rest of it. But yeah. Anyway, we should probably. I think it might be a good time to discuss the Draculas we watched this time last year.
Yes, I don't know if anyone saw. I reposted the post that we made because this time last year. Theo, would you like to discuss what we were doing this time last year?
Yeah, so this time last year, I was recovering from top surgery. So it's exactly a year, 5 days ago, that I had my top surgery with an amazing surgeon. But I was in Manchester for a week.
Yeah.
And all we'd had was access to Amazon Prime. And we decided that we would just go find the worst films that we could find. And one of those films, well, one of those films, we found 2 Dracula films that we had never seen before. And we decided that we would, watch them all, basically.
Very low budget Dracula films, which are the best Dracula films, without a doubt.
I'm just
There's one on my radar at the moment called Dracula on Holiday.
Dracula on Holiday is great. I'm just gonna I don't know what you've done, darling, but you've expanded your. No, you haven't done anything wrong, but you've expanded.
Oh no, sorry, I can go back down. I did that deliberately. Is that okay?
Okay, I can put it. Okay, I'll put it back. I don't mind. I just wanted to make sure that You can go back to that
I
full
was being
screen if you
helpful.
want.
I was not being
No,
helpful.
no,
No, it's all right.
you sure?
Okay, there you go.
Okay. I'll put it back. It's nice that you can see more, so I will do that, and then I can. There we go. That looks good. See more of them. You don't really need to see my face, to be honest. I'm just here. It's just because you can see. Right, we're gonna cut me off a little bit. The joys. There we go. You know, a few technical difficulties, but it's all fine.
Anyway, sorry. Please continue.
Yeah. Anyway, so you watched some terrible Dracula movies. I say terrible. They were amazing, and we loved every second of it. But it was also some terrible films. So one of them was it was a Dracula film where it was kind of centered around Lucy, if memory serves me correctly, and Van Helsing, mostly. It was kind of like
basically a slipped down version of the Lucy chapter. If that was all that happened,
yeah,
in Dracula, I think it was okay. It was just that they cast a Jack and a Seward, no, a Jack and an Arthur,
yeah,
and then it seemed as if they then switched the two actors. So the person that really should have been playing Arthur was playing Jack, and vice versa.
mm.
It was just that made it very surreal to watch.
So yeah, the wet cat and the money bags were switched around, and you were just like, I don't know. Yeah, like for some reason the Arthur in this particular adaptation was very angry, like all the time about Jack being there, and Jack was like the more heroic character and sympathetic, and it was just really strange. It was a very strange adaptation, and then like I think the Lucy was amazing.
Lucy was, frankly, one of the best Lucys I've ever seen. She was.
That's good words. That's fighting words.
I will fight on that.
I don't know who I would say, because I can't think of any other good Lucys. If anyone in the chat can tell us their favourite Lucys.
Because Lucy's done so dirty in so many adaptations. You get one pretty good one, and you're like, that one, there she is.
Yeah, it's true.
Very, very good Lucy.
Yeah. Poor Lucy.
But after that came what I think is the sequel to that particular film, which is what I call the Kung Fu Mina film, which is, I think I made a post about this on Tumblr a few days ago. It's essentially if Mina had gone off to find Jonathan and then teleported directly to Castle Dracula, and then also Van Helsing was there, and then Van Helsing teaches Mina Kung Fu in order to defeat Dracula. And it's interesting. It's beautiful. It's insane.
I'm gonna have to find a picture. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture to share with the class. Was it called The Wrath of Dracula?
It was called The Wrath of Dracula.
I will find The Wrath of Dracula. Such a strange, like, yeah, I found a few. I can, yeah, hang on, let's save these images. To be fair, I think the Van Helsing looks pretty good.
Van Helsing was amazing.
Yeah, like
he was very good. There were some really good actors in this. It was just I cannot stress this enough. Mina fist fighting Draculas.
Yeah. I'm just saving some photos because I don't think anyone's actually going to believe me until I show the photos. Also, Lou had a good point in the chat. We are referring only to when we say about the Lucys, we are referring only to the like video versions. Obviously, Beth Ayer.
Oh,
I always know how to get it. I cannot pronounce her name correctly. Apologies, but yeah, she is an amazing Lucy.
oh yes.
And
Almost all audio Lucy's are
yeah,
very, very good. It's we're talking about screen adaptations only.
you know those populist things that we have to deal with. Um, right, I've got some images. I want to see. Oh yeah, yeah. We're only dissing on-screen Lucy's, apart from the one we saw in the Dracula film that I don't know what that one's called. But yeah, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna add an image. Add a new source. Mina. So haven't done stuff like this live, so do bear with me. But I promise it will be worth it.
I'm just
this.
looking at hand references.
Right, there we go. Mina Kung Fu. Whilst whilst Georgia is looking at hand references, I'm gonna just. There we go. I'm just gonna make this a little viewing corner for a second. So that is Mina learning Kung Fu. She also doesn't look like Mina looks like there's nothing wrong with the Mina necessarily, but she looks like a 21st century woman. And it's that whole thing of like some people look like they're from the century that they're acting in. I mean, look, she does. I mean, I've seen LARPers wear this. You know, it's crazy. For Georgia's context, as she cannot see it, Georgia, I found a photo of Mina doing kung fu, but she's wearing like dark shirt, braces, and like pants. So
Yes, I think I remember this.
she's just like getting ready to learn. It's incredible. Yes.
I must stress, we absolutely recommend this movie 100%.
We absolutely 100% recommending this movie. Yes, and then we're going to see if I can now choose the other. It's the Van Helsing one. There we go, again. So here's the Van Helsing. I think this Van Helsing is pretty good, to be fair. Just before we go back to George's lovely drawing. So it's a kind of like close up of Van Helsing with a stake and a hammer, and he's just like ready to strike.
He was very good. He was good.
He was good.
very almost like, shall we get him to play Johnny 3? I think he'd be great.
He'd be an amazing Johnny 3. Yeah, we're just Anyway, so let's get rid of these now. Let's go back to George's lovely drawing, because Georgia's drawing, you know, Johnny and Mina having, you know, a nice time. But yes, anyway, so that's what we did last year, and I really wish that we could watch movies together on Twitch, but I just don't think we can. I think the closest we could do is we could do a PowerPoint presentation on the films that we've seen and be a bit more prepared for them. So if you guys would like to see that, of like, you know, or we could do, you know, like people do those like TikTok videos of like, my PowerPoint presentation is I don't know why. Do a movie night in Discord. We could do a movie night in Discord.
True.
We could do that. We could do the PowerPoint game in Discord as well. I'd be game for that. The PowerPoint game, I really want to do that for someone. Sorry, Lou was like, PowerPoint, not TikTok. I am an old man. That's fair. I'm also an old man. I'm just, trying to shill in TikTok all the time. To be fair, I use TikTok mostly for my trans journey up until Holmwood. And that was always good. It was a nice way of connecting with the community. So
You've always been my TikTok person. I don't use TikTok personally, though I rely on you to collate the best TikToks that you see and then give them to me.
Oh, thank you, Morgan, for joining us. Enjoy the trick or treaters, and yes, we should definitely do some more of these streams. I think it's going quite well.
I think next time I won't draw a comic.
But yeah, something I was going to say, darling, and it's completely slipped my mind.
Ooh.
Oh, your microphone is doing a bit of. Oh, well, your microphone's picking up your cat.
It's
your
one
fan.
Sec. Hi, how's that?
It's better, I think.
Is that better? It's just moving it slightly away because it's a road. It picks up everything.
Yeah.
Might be the best it can do.
That's okay. It cuts out every time that you don't talk.
Okay.
Which isn't obviously great. You might have to turn on. I can't remember what the settings are, but we can have a look at that for next time.
Yeah.
But yes, hopefully it won't be too bad. I'll see if I can turn your.
Is it horrendously bad?
Do some talking for us, and the chat can let us know if it's bad.
Chat, let us know if this is horrendous. Usually I'd switch to another mic, but this is the other mic that I would switch to. Bit of a pain.
Sorry. I am very much enjoying watching this comic come to life. Whether I just
want to live up. This is where I want to stay. I want to stay up here during this bit.
Yeah.
There's a lot going wrong with it, but
I think it looks lovely.
Thank you.
Johnny and Mina deserve it. Super cute. But yes, anyway, what were we saying? Yes, let's definitely do a movie stream.
Yes.
And let's definitely do let's do like some movie stream at some point. So if you're with us and you're asking about the Discord, please do join us. Just, you don't have to put a lot of money in to join the Discord. You could put in £1 if you don't want to. £1, £5, and then you'll be able to join our little Discord, and in there you can talk to Dracula's Head. So we have a mod app set up, which is basically called Dracula's Head, and you can ask him a bit like an 8-ball questions. They are usually a kind of a yes or no answer, but there are varieties on a theme.
He's so grumpy.
He is very grumpy. He is worth joining the Discord for. Yeah, sorry, Lou. As Lou has just said, Dracula's Head keeps threatening me, which sounds about right. So it's quite fun. You can also ask him to give you Dracula quotes, which, to be fair, is not as fun as asking him, like, how should I go about my day, and he just says no. But yeah. So if you are interested in that, do join our Discord. It's very fun. Lou is saying, I'm not saying I'm into it, but like ... Yes, so Many Jawed Possum was saying, I'm putting out my Halloween decorations as I listen, but I am also in the old club. I'm not old. I'm older than Georgia.
Oh, darling.
I'm 35 in February. That's not old. It's not old at all.
No, you're a sprightly young lad.
That is also not true. Lou is saying that we're all babies because he's 41. First of all, you have that trans magic, because I would never have believed you were 41. So I'm glad we're in the trans magic youth club, because no one would ever believe I'm 34 either. But congratulations. Lou says we get the second puberty and the reverse aging. Love it. Many Jaw Possum said, "Hello, I am ancient baby. If I average internet communities and loop. Trans Magic Youth Club, lol. Yes, people usually guess I'm about 25 at most for me. Yeah, I think the amount of people that tend to look at me and go, yeah, how old are you? And I'm just like 34. And they're like, no.
I imagine people would, if I mean nobody's really sort of asked us that question because I think it would probably seem a bit rude, but I imagine people would think that I am older than you
Mm-hmm.
if they saw us in the street.
Yeah, probably. Probably. But it is not true. Anyway. But yes, trans magic aging. It's all good. Yes. So, does anyone in the chat have any questions for us regarding Holmwood, or regarding Jeremy or Maddie or Johnny or Mina that we can see if we can answer? More than happy to. Just give a poke, give a point at the haunted quartet. And let us know what you think. How long do you want to do some drawing for? How are you holding up?
I'm good. If anyone, again, I might stop drawing this in a little bit. I think there are parts of this that I need to fix in a very boring to watch way, which is just like right in there like that. Looking at reference. I should maybe have a look at the bottom panel to just amuse all of us. But
very cool.
But I could also draw some stuff for people. I don't mind.
Cool. Yeah, Georgia is taking requests. So if anyone would like something small, please do let us know. Many Jawed Possum has a question for us, which is if you want to get involved as cast or crew, how do we do that? First of all, thank you so much. At the moment, we're just gonna hope it gets made, which it won't happen unless we're in the Kickstarter. If the Kickstarter gets funded.
But we'll assume for now that we do.
Yeah, if we're assuming that it is going to get made, it's more of a case of looking at our pilot crew, see if they still want to join us for season 1. So at the moment, everyone who worked on the pilot will be offered new contracts for season 1 and like a renegotiation there. But because it is 8 episodes, we may need more support on some of those roles. So yeah, it's more of a case of finding out what will happen in terms of if you wanted to be a role that we've not cast for yet. There are going to be some smaller roles.
There are quite a few smaller roles. I think it's about, I'm going to say off the top of my head, and it's going to be wrong, about 10 like episodic roles. So a role that only shows up in an episode, which we will either cast from the people who've already auditioned for stuff, or we will, we'll be spreading out a net to see if anyone's interested. So if you'd like a role that's not like a main supporting role, there are absolutely options to do that. If you would like to die to a vampire, there is still time.
I love how specific you were with that. Yeah, if you'd like to die on audio, there are options for that. But yeah, there are also like for people who, there are like small roles that don't require like massive levels of voice acting experience, that we'd like to offer to people who are newer. There's definitely like I can think of a scene which I'm not going to say, but there is a scene which includes some phone calls that could be really great for someone who is starting out. So, they might be ones that we reach out to, people. But yeah, it's cool. It's all going to be interesting to see what happens when we make season 1. Because again, because we've still got a redraft to do with season 1. Once we know we've definitely got it, there will probably be room again to add a few more voices and stuff like that. It just really depends on how our Kickstarter goes.
I think we were also considering getting in a secondary team for sound design. Just because Benji is a very busy man. He's very in demand. And we're very aware that we will be giving him 7 episodes, 6 episodes in quite short succession, and we don't want to burn him out or him to turn around and say, sorry, I've got a lot on and I can't do this anymore. We'll be scrambling, so we're considering getting in another team for sound design as well. So that is also something that might be open.
Yes. So yeah, if that's something that interests you as well, obviously when that time comes, we'll reach out to people first, who we think might be interested, or we'll open people up to get in contact with us once the show is greenlit. But yeah, at the moment it's just if the show is greenlit, as per everything to do with Holmwood. It is a bit of a shame. We are trying to reach out to people who we think might be interested, but it just depends on lots of different factors. But yeah, just hoping that enough people see it, enough people like it, review it, share, and put in some of their money. So thank you. But thank you for being interested. I'm looking at the comments here. So yeah, fair enough. I did audition, but I'm assuming I didn't get in. I'll be honest with you, we had a lot of people audition. It was actually quite terrifying. Like we mentioned with Dracula earlier, we had 70 people just for Dracula, and the moment people realised...
We had over 200 people audition for
the 5 roles that we had. 6 roles that we had.
So it was, if you didn't get a role, it was absolutely nothing to do with your capacity as a voice actor. It was just that we could only cast 1 actor for each role. And there were some really amazing actors that we had to turn down.
Yeah.
Which was another interesting thing, because I do voice acting on the side as well. I do a lot of narrative work for audio podcasts, so I read books basically and short stories, and I've auditioned for stuff in the past, and it's really interesting to be on the opposite side of it and realizing, it really is no judgment on your capacity. It's so many different factors that both you and the casting people have no control over, which is quite helpful in a way and also a bit scary. So yes, if you auditioned, thank you so much, and we really apologise if we didn't pick you, but it was absolutely no indication of you as an actor, and please keep at it. And if you'd like to be one of our smaller roles as well, please do email us. Our email is always open. It's very easy to find. It's on our website, and it's literally just us at the other end of the email. It's just us doing absolutely everything, social media wise, and please get in touch.
What Georgia said. Yeah, and no need to add to that. So our email address is thehomewoodfoundation@gmail.com. So yeah, so if that's something you just want to reach out and just state your interest for now, we can bookmark it to see what happens next. Just letting you guys know. And yeah, it was a lot of auditions, it was a lot of listening, and we've learnt as well with our audition pieces. Even for us, everything about this whole process has been definitely a learning curve. Like one of Johnny 3's audition pieces isn't really what we needed it to be.
Yeah, we realised it.
We realised too late.
Quite a good line, quite a good little section for him as a character, but not for us determining whether the voice would work for all of what we need for him. Yeah.
And so he was the hardest to pick because, Yeah, it was all very, very difficult. So Many Joel Possums replied with, "I'll have to email you again. You were very nice when I emailed before. I think I was asking about the intended interpretation of nonplussed." Yeah, because I think the Americans and the English have different understandings of the word nonplussed.
We say that, and then your housemate corrected us,
Yep.
and I think it was just us getting it wrong, which is
Yay!
our fault.
Which is our fault.
So
So yeah, little things again. It's very much a learning curve. Yeah, all good. We learn. This looks great, by the way. I'm just grinning at this panel. It's so good. I'm gonna, while we're here, I'm gonna have a little check on the Kickstarter and see how it's going, because it's always good to check it. And
I
then,
will stress while you check that I actually haven't drawn a comic since I haven't drawn a comic since I drew again Jeremy and Maddie back before we decided to make the Holmwood Foundation. So in a very rough and ready stage from last year. Actually, I think the start of this year. You can find
I think you
on
drew it in
my
like February-ish, because it
I
was
did, and I
around
was
my
like, I'm going to
birthday.
draw my OCs this year, and nothing can stop me. And then that turned into this thing that we've made. So draw your OCs and then turn them into whatever this is. But yeah, so I'm not. As I said, I'm a character designer. I'm not a comic artist. So I do apologise. Anyone who does draw comics who is looking at this and wondering what I'm doing.
Okay, so no movement on the Kickstarter. We are doing well though still. Let me just log in so I can send some messages to our more recent backers. Yeah.
I did update that earlier today. I was on it.
Oh, very good. Da, 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 da. I can't type anymore. Right, let's ignore that. So, in the chat. Yep, so that was the last thing that was said. Let's go back. And I think we got in. Yes.
How's the chat doing?
So, nothing since we talked about. Let's have a look again. Talked about the term nonplussed. But yes, thank you to everyone who's been sticking around for the drawing and for us just gabbing on. It's been really nice to have everyone. Are people enjoying watching the comic, or would you guys like to move on to something else? We are open to suggestions if you want something a bit more fun that Georgia can have a go at. Please let us know if you have any thoughts or ideas. We'll be more than happy to listen to them. Yeah, I am just very much enjoying, to be honest, watching this panel just grow out of your original drawing.
I feel like I need to change, at least Jeremy's pose. It doesn't feel very Jeremy.
Yeah, it's a bit like...
Yeah, it's good.
Cool. Da, 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 da. So look at the back of a book. Cool. Ooh. So we have some replies in the chat. So it's a Mandy. I don't know why I call you Mandy then. Many Jawed Possums definitely enjoying just also decorating. And then Liz Horan said, "I like the comic. I'm a Draw Free fan, so watching art come together is fun for me."
I
I
do like Draw Free. I've not seen them in a long time.
What is Draw Free? You're gonna have to
Uh,
educate me.
Please tell me if I'm talking about the wrong thing, chat. But it's a YouTube channel. I think it's three people who used to be part of College Humor. And they draw. They're all artists, and they all draw based on a brief. So it'd be like, oh, you know that game you played a few months ago that was
Yes.
describe a Pokemon character,
Mhm.
and then draw that Pokemon as best as you can. And most of us hadn't seen Pokemon.
Mhm.
It's basically that, except it's sort of like this. So if
Yes.
you were like, Georgia, draw this particular situation, and then I just drew it, that's Draw Free. Except
I
they're very funny
see.
people and quite a bit more talented than me. So it's really really good. I recommend it. It's a good like just watching how people construct things and also construct them really quickly.
Liz says that's correct, but it's 4 artists, not 3. But
Cool.
otherwise,
Oh,
you are
see,
correct.
they've when I last saw them, it was I think someone had just joined them, so it was quite a long time ago that I watched them. But it's yeah, I think they've expanded and they're very good.
I was gonna say, actually, just to plug a friend of ours. They're doing a charity live stream. I think on, I want to say like the 30th of November, which George and I are going to be involved in.
What's this?
Yeah. So I think I've told you.
What's this? What are we doing?
I forgot to tell you about this. The best. Fine, I'm doing something. If George would like to join, I thought he
Sorry,
told.
darling. What are we doing?
I'm sorry. I thought I told you.
No,
Um,
you haven't.
we've been invited to do basically the drawing game, but for Nathan and Chris for a live stream.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. So I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I forgot. I thought I had. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna be doing that at some point. I say we. It might just be me because Georgia might not be
No,
free.
it'll be both of us. I will also be there.
But I thought I said. I'm sorry. Yeah. So that'll be I think on the 30th ish. I can't check my phone because my phone is currently my camera. But yeah, it's at some point then. And I think we're drawing Doctor Who things.
Nice.
Um,
A show I
because
have never watched in my life.
you've never watched it. I know. Because Nathan doesn't watch Doctor Who, so I think he's going to be finding and describing the creatures for, or like we'll describe them for him to draw, stuff like that because he hasn't seen it. So yeah, should be fun. So if you want to join us, I think it's for charity as well. I don't know what the charity is. I will have to find out a bit closer to the time. But I'll share that obviously on our Tumblrs and social medias and things. And hopefully by then we'll know what's going on with Holmwood, so we can be like, come join us. Still. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we can talk about. Off the top of my head. Keep thinking about that PowerPoint game now. I'm trying to think of what I would do.
Just everyone is assigned a different Dracula film, and then you have to explain it, or just vampire film.
But
Pretend you're in the archives,
or like,
and we've all got to make a little presentation.
I mean, I was gonna say
Bob's
do
Film Club.
it is film club. I was gonna say it could be even more chaotic than that, and just be like, you have to do a PowerPoint based upon Dracula and vampire media. Go, and it could be something like, here are my favourite Scream versions of Arthur Holmwood, and here are my reasonings why. Oh, I believe that these would be the best dogs that Arthur. These are the dogs that Arthur raised, brought with him. Which terrier? yeah, Lou has volunteered for ballet Dracula.
Yes, I love there are now three different versions, ballet versions of Dracula, and they are all the best idea ever, and I fully support them.
And
There's one still on if anyone has access to BBC iPlayer, I appreciate we probably have quite a few American watchers. I think it's still on there from last year. Um, and it's beautiful and I love it. And I'm very much a fan of the Dracula musical, which is a little bit insane, um, and very not good. And I'm also a big fan of Ballet Dracula, which is genuinely very good.
so
And I think
so
there's one making the rounds at the moment where Dracula has to climb down, face down the wall every night. I think I've seen that one. You sent me that the other day.
I said that to you the other day. I did. Yes. That's on until the 2nd of November somewhere.
Nice.
Um,
I hope that it's filmed.
just to hold, just hold for 1 second. There is a Dracula ballet on the BBC iPlayer, and you have not told me
Yeah,
about it.
yeah. It's been on there since last year. I swear we watched it.
We have not watched it, darling. You've not told me
I'm so
about the
sorry.
Dracula ballet.
I'm
Why have we
so
not
sorry.
watched
I
it?
could also be giving you incorrect information. It might not be on there anymore, but if it is, I highly recommend it. It's a very good version.
I feel betrayed. Okay, no, I'll check. It's fine.
Betrayed.
It's fine. I'll check. Speaking of plays, I don't know if plays are really anyone else's thing. I watched David Tennant's Good on BBC iPlayer. So for those of you who can access it, I watched that the other night. So I think it's still on there for a little while. So do recommend that. That was a bit intense because it's about
Yes, trigger warnings for
yeah,
that.
there's lots of
Absolutely.
trigger warnings. Please
In a
go
good place.
please
Watch
go
that.
check what it's about before watching it. It's very good. David Tennant is also very good, but I would highly recommend checking the content warnings. It is about the rise of Hitler, from the perspective of a German professor. So do go check that out if you don't know about it already, but it does interest you. Please do. We've got some comments in the chat. Lou is volunteering for ballet Dracula, which we said, and wasn't aware there was more than one, so was going to have to remembered watching
Yes,
one
there's
on
at least
YouTube.
3 that I'm aware of.
Lou, I know literally nothing of ballet, and thus will be saying things like, okay, so I'm not clear what is happening here, but it looks cool. That's basically my position on ballet, and I did ballet when I was a young child. My parents were like, let's make the let's make the not lad do ballet, and then they realised that I was not good at it and I was very clumsy, and they were like, maybe we should not make the not lad do ballet. I was like, can I do drama instead? They were like, okay. I did that for a little while. Because I believe you also did ballet briefly.
I did do ballet, and then I was asked to please stop doing ballet.
I think we were in
'Cause I'm
similar.
very uncoordinated. But you see, the thing, darling, my ballet teacher is also my godmother, and I believe she took my mum aside and was like, maybe not. Maybe don't let your child do ballet.
Do not let your child do. I think I was probably given. I think my mum was probably given the same pep talk. To be fair. Ballet. Yeah. Anyway, cool. There are still 9 of you watching this. This is quite impressive. We are just babbling whilst Georgia does her comic. And actually, to be fair, I'm having a whale of a time watching this comic.
I think I've worked out Jeremy's pose. This is another pro tip. If something's not working, flip the canvas, and it'll inevitably tell you more of what you're doing wrong. It's a bit horrifying because sometimes you think you're doing really well, and then you'll flip the canvas and you'll realise, it does not look good. But if you can kind of grit your teeth and do it, I honestly, if I'm painting something and I don't have people watching, I will do it every 5 minutes just to make sure everything's on track. Um, but yes, so I'm going to flip the canvas a couple of times, and I'm going to work out what's going on with Maddie, and then we might have a vague approximation of a sketch for this particular section.
Amazing.
And I should probably also be looking up here to make sure everyone's, because that's some stuff's going on differently there, but we'll also work that out.
Yeah, should be fine.
Yeah, it's off model, as we say in the industry.
Also, for those of you new to the chat, I'm going to treat you by testing our widgets, because I think you all deserve to see the widget picture that comes up that Georgia beautifully drew.
Oh,
That
I was
I
going to
think
draw more of those. Oh, I need that next time.
Next time.
We do a drawing, I will start off by drawing more widgets.
We're going to draw some more widgets.
Chat can give me some Dracula heads to draw, and I will draw those Dracula heads.
Yes. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what the bit. So this isn't actually happening. These are just testing the widgets. So if I press this button, it will do a quite a big like loud noise, like bling, and it'll also show you an image. So I'm going to just press it. It's hidden. Hang on, I'll put it a bit over the art. There we go. So yeah, so that's what it looks like. I'm gonna just very quickly just make you a little smaller so we can see it. It's alright, you're still there. Let's do it again. Let's bunny ears, a straw hat, Santa, and a birthday hat. Oh, too much fun. Anyway, so that's that. We just really wanted to show them to you if you hadn't seen them before, because they are very amusing. Yeah. There we go. Was enjoying. Lou has put in the chat. I said so. Theo, I'll make you a little smaller, Georgia. Small noise as if being compressed. Very good. Very, very good.
Help me. Help me.
I put you back in properly now. You're fine.
Good. Okay.
We've had a good reaction to the many George Possum has said, "Oh my god," at the Dracula heads. So it was worth it. Absolutely worth it.
Yes, I have a little list of more Dracula heads that I would like to draw, but I always welcome more. So if you have a hat that you would like to see him wear, please do let me know, and I will add it to my list.
Speaking of hats, we were discussing the other day about how Victorian men were not seen often without a hat.
Outside.
Outside.
I believe it was considered. Someone please tell me if I'm incorrect. I have been incorrect before. I believe it was considered very ill manners for a man to remove his hat outdoors.
We gotta know. Lou has replied, "Straw hat after Labour Day, Dracula for the win." I love Jeremy's aghast expression.
That was one of my first jobs ever, was working on a show called 101 Dalmatian Street, which you can still find on the Disney Channel and has a little fan base, which I'm very pleased for. But one of my jobs was to draw all of the expression sheets for all of the Dalmatians on 101 Dalmatian Street, which is why to this day my expressions look like that. So you can blame Disney for all of this.
I think they look great. May George Possum has said captain's hat for Dracula for the Demeter.
He's not the captain. Draw him a little skipper's hat.
A little skipper's hat for Dracula. Okay, that's fair. Also, Many Joel Possum has said, that is my understanding regarding the Victorian outdoors rule.
Yes.
Outdoors were for hats.
So we're considering poor Johnny having to get used to Jeremy not having a hat.
Yes. If we don't put it in the script, it'll be some sort of reference somewhere. Yes. Lou has replied regarding your expressions. Cruella de Vil expression forebear. Forever. Forever.
Yep. I did do Cruella de Vil's expression sheet. I also did her hand sheet, which was long hands, long fingers.
Long fingers. Gosh.
Spoilers for that show, by the way. We had Cruella de Vil, and she was voiced by an actor whose name I've literally just forgotten. Who's Missy in Doctor Who, darling?
Oh, Michelle Gomez. I knew that.
Yeah, Michelle Gomez voices Cruella de Vil. So if that is in any way up your street, go watch 101 Dalmatian Street and picture me as a little 21-year-old on my first animation job.
Poor Georgia.
Poor me.
One of the requests is Dracula in Romanian national costume hat.
That'd be fun. I would draw that.
And Nightcap Dracula, because he
Nightcap
needs his
Dracula.
beauty sleep.
He does. He's had a long beauty sleep. He's been beauty sleeping for 130 years.
Yep. 130
More than
years.
130.
Actually, it is longer, because 130 years is how long Holmwood's been running.
Yes.
Which was, I believe, 1904. So that's 4 years after the events of Dracula in our canon. Because we have it that it's 1900. Yes. I can do maths.
We can definitely do maths live on air.
We can do maths live on air, and no one will pull it up ever to tell us that we were wrong. No, yeah, we've got, so basically, because I know there is discussion on where people think what year Dracula is set.
Yeah,
But
we've decided in our universe it was 1890, and the book itself was written in the 7-year aspect is 1897.
No, that's not what we... No.
No. Ignore me.
No, 1900 is when the book is set. So... Yeah.
No, it's 1897.
Are we gonna have an argy-bargy online? Okay, fine. No, it's fine. We're good. Yeah, that's fine. No, that makes sense, because it's all about maths. I hate maths. Everyone, never do anything that involves maths when it comes to writing. It's horrendous. You have to see the family trees that we have created for Holmwood. They give me the worst headache. And I know that they're fine. I know they're correct. But I still end up looking at it.
We had to get our script editor involved to make sure that we'd done the maths correctly. I promise you, we have not done the maths on our own.
No. I hated every second. But I had to do it. I had to know. Had to know the answers to the questions I had. The questions that I know you all have.
We also have them.
Yes. Many George Possum said, my cat is staring at me. Everyone please say hello. Hello. What's your cat's name?
Hello, cat.
Please tell us what your cat's name. Please tell us your cat is called Mina, so we can be like, oh, hello, Mina. I think we do have a few people in the Discord who have cats named after Dracula characters, which is amazing.
I want a cat so bad.
I
live
know.
vicariously through everyone else's cats. So
Yeah.
please always show me your cats.
Yes, absolutely.
now drawing the 2 things you should never try and draw when other people are watching.
Feet.
Hands and shoes.
Looking good to me. The cat
I
is
managed
called...
to execute a very beautiful this shoe, and then this shoe happened.
That shoe looks fine to me. That looks like a shoe.
Thank you.
Um,
Sorry, you were about to tell me a cat name.
yes, the cat is called Layla.
Layla!
She is a dainty
Hello,
lady.
Layla.
Hello, Layla.
Okay.
We have many plans for when we do live together to have
Yes.
pets. Because you see, so here's the thing. Georgia is the horror fan. I think we've established this with the horror writing,
with
everything.
With the everything.
I'm along for the ride. I like it enough. And particularly with Holmwood, I think there's elements in Holmwood that are not as like strict horror as some other horror writing that Georgia has done, but at the same time is still more horror than I have ever written. So like there's elements of it. So my kind of love, you would think is science fiction. It's not science fiction. My big love is Arthuriana. I'm really a big fan of King Arthur and the knights and all that jazz. And I have ideas for stuff that I would like to do as audio drama based stuff when Holmwood is done, or if we don't get Holmwood done, or whatever happens as another project. But to tie into that, I really want a dog, and I want to call him Merlin. That's all I want. I have, so Lou is talking about Camlan in the chat. Camlan, so have you heard Camlan? Yes, I have heard Camlan. I love Camlan very, very much. Ella is amazing. I know all about Camlan. That is why, well, one of the reasons why we were like, let's get Robin. So we have the wonderful Robin Holdaway. I can't speak anymore. Holdaway joining us as Cam, who is influencer that we hear about during season 1. And yes, and they do some deep diving on Thomas Van Helsing, who I think most people know by now. But yeah, Tom Van Helsing is Jeremy's cousin. And they are he is a very different to Jeremy, despite having also dealt with quite a few difficult foundation problems. But yeah, no, love Robin. Really excited to have Robin on board. Oh, Lou is saying that their partner was in Camland. That's really cool. Please say like that's amazing. That's really cool. Send all the love. Yeah, I
tell them we
really
really enjoyed it.
Yes. Please tell them we really enjoyed it, and yeah, just all of it was so good. Yay. And yeah, I mean, there's stuff I really want to do with, like, so one of my first ever short stories was based on King Arthur stuff. So if you guys are interested, you can definitely go check it out. So basically, it's part of an anthology of stories in the 1950s. And my story is called A Single Wolf, Grey and Gaunt. And it's about a little boy who befriends a ghost dog. So yeah. So if that sounds of interest to you, I won't say any more, but I'll put a link in the chat, and you can go. I think you can get it digitally as well as physically, if that's your bag. It is under my dead name, which is a bit frustrating, but it is what it is. and you can find it there. Just going to try and bring it up. And there you go. So I put the link in the chat if it interests you. Yeah. And George's, speaking of other things we're doing that isn't Holmwood related, did you want to talk a little bit about the hotel?
Yeah. I keep forgetting that's out today. That's
Darling.
I've been preparing for that for so long. It keeps skipping my mind because we've had so much to do with Homewood. But yeah, I said before, I do some voice work here and there as well as writing. And one of the podcasts that I work with is the Other Stories podcast, which is a horror anthology podcast. So if you like sort of bite-sized horror, narrated by different people, all of their stories are exactly 2,000 words long, so exactly 15 minutes, give or take a few seconds. And every October they do Halloween special, so a proper little mini series of longer episodes with an overarching plot. And I've usually been part of it as a voice actor, so I was in it last year. They did a version of Alice in Wonderland mixed with sort of elder gods, and I played Alice. And the year before that, I was a podcaster who got lost in a toy factory. That was great. And then this year, they asked me if I would like to write it. So I've written a story called The Hotel, and that's been airing all of this week. We've just dropped the last episode today, and you can go listen to that, or you can pick it up in its printed version, which has also just dropped today. So if you like to read normally, you can pick it up, or if you just like to listen, you can also listen to it. And it's based on I don't know how to describe it. It's basically what would happen if sort of an English ghost hunting show, so Most Haunted, or Ghost Adventures, if you're more into your American stuff, went to a haunted hotel for a recording episode, and then things went horrendously bad. And it's from every chapter is from the perspective of a different member of the crew. It's got Sophia Ingar in it. If you are a fan of Big Finish, they play Valerie in Big Finish, who is a companion of the 11th Doctor, who I've also written for. I am inexplicably in it. We couldn't find an actor fast enough to play a particular character, so I also play Claire, the presenter of the show. And yes, you can pick that up. That's your kind of thing. If you like haunted houses, if you like houses that aren't quite as they seem, if you like ghost hunting TV shows, which I know I do, if you like sort of found footage-esque, but not quite, that is also your thing. Yeah, it's called The Hotel. If you look up The Hotel, The Other Stories, or The Hotel Hawk and Cleaver, you can find it wherever you get your podcasts, or you probably find it on Spotify, I think. Yeah. We very briefly tried to get Sean, again, our Jeremy, to be in it, but unfortunately that didn't happen in time. But yeah.
Very cool. There is some chat in the chat, but I'm just going to find theotherstories.net. I'm going to put it in the chat.
Oh, thank you. There should be just a page for The Hotel. If you type in The Other Stories, The Hotel.
The hotel is the first thing that comes up, so I think we're probably fine. Books Writers Hub about. Just having a little look. Hotel. The Other Stories. Yes. I'll copy that and put that in as well. Okie dokie. Okay, so in the chat, The person who so Loop's partner is Faye Roberts, who is in
Nice.
Camlin. I won't tell you who because it is spoilers, which is very exciting. And then Lou was saying that I submitted something to After the Gloaming of the other stories a
Oh
while
yes.
back. No idea where that is. And then
I'm afraid I don't have anything to do with After the Gloaming. Yeah, I usually only work with the other stories. I think After the Gloaming is produced by Jimmy Horrors. But yeah, I can't help with that, unfortunately.
sorry, can I confirm? Is his name Jimmy Horrors? Like his actual name?
I think that I'm going to say something. I think it's his.
Pen name.
It's an author name. I think
It's still an amazing author name, to be fair.
it's a
If you
great author
write
name.
only horror, beautiful. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Lou said thinks his name is James something.
Mm.
Cool. Very exciting.
But yeah, if I think they do take a little while to get back on the other stories because it's a monthly what's it called theme. But I'm sure if you email and ask, they're usually pretty quick at getting back if something's been lost.
Cool. That's good to know. So yeah, if something's lost, do check in and find out. We're all deciding that his name is Jimmy Horrors, whether or not it isn't or not. Money Joe Possum said, "If only we could all be named Jimmy Horrors." I agree. Yeah, names are very interesting things because we gave, like, it's funny. I think Maddie and Jeremy haven't had too many name changes. They've always really been Jeremy and Maddie, but their surnames have changed quite a bit.
Their surnames have changed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Fun.
I think their names are slightly holdovers from some of the original stuff we were going to do with them, and now they don't. They are very coincidental, for what they are. But I mean, it doesn't do too much.
Yeah.
It doesn't change too much.
But yes. What is the name? So having a little look. Lou said, stuff comes out when it comes out or when it's good and ready. My friend Kale Sinkhole says. First name Kale, last name Sinkhole.
Nice.
This is looking nice, darling. The drawing's looking good.
I've realised it's because I've gotten slightly more into the groove of it here. This is now a completely different style, and this is also a completely different style. I don't know how I've managed that in the space of one stream, where you've not seen me leave this PSD.
Nope.
Magic. I'll go in by myself and I'll fix that later on.
It's looking. I think it's looking great. Like genuinely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. It's super cool. I love that you give Maddie these very what's the word? Not non-practical shoes for her to be wearing on the moors.
These are the brown heels that I wear quite often at events.
Mm-hmm.
You've probably seen them before. I feel so bad. I feel like she probably would wear more practical shoes, but then I can't stop myself from drawing her in these and then picturing her having to walk across the moors.
Yes, because you're so mean. Yeah. Poor Maddie.
Poor Maddie.
I'm loving that the internet have collectively agreed that Maddie is an angel and Jeremy is an arse.
She is an angel and he is an arse.
Yeah.
It's correct assumptions.
I'm just glad that the internet have agreed. It's great. I'm loving. We've had some really lovely reviews recently. I think we're due to get another one by the end of the week. Come through from Mass Movement magazine. Did a little preview on our Kickstarter as well. The lovely Tony Flyer. Then we had the lovely Alistair Stewart.
That was
Review.
really, really lovely.
Review, a beautiful review. He just messaged us out of the blue on Blue Sky, just like, "Hey, I'm doing a review on Holmwood. Here's the draft. Hope you like it. We're gonna release it this date." And me and Georgia were just flabbergasted because it was such a beautiful review. So if you've not checked that out, I do highly recommend looking at it, because we met him at MCM as well after he'd already messaged us about the review. He was taking care of someone's stall in the writer's block and was just the sweetest man. How he's Peter Lucas, I do not know, because I don't know enough about Magnus Archives.
We've also had a really lovely review that's arrived today from Please Attend Carefully podcast, which is primarily a Doctor Who podcast. If Doctor Who is your thing, I think they usually talk about the Master. They had me on a little while ago to discuss Ruby Red, which is the Doctor Who novel I wrote this year. Again, if Doctor Who is your thing. But they very, very kindly listened to our first episode and reviewed it, which was lovely of them. And it's very, very nice. And I highly recommend their podcast.
Yes, I'm going to go find it now and then put
them in chat.
So the podcast is called Please Attend Carefully.
I'm going to have to draw Maddie's hands now.
You sound very upset about this.
Oh, I don't want to draw my hands. Alright, we're going to flip the canvas.
So yeah, there's a link to the Spotify at some point, and then I'm going to put a link to Full Lid as well.
Oh god. See, this is what I meant earlier about flipping the canvas so you can tell when things look weird, because that is something's going on with our man's face. We're going to fix it. I think I've just done a bit of I think I've kept some of his original expression in when I saved over. But it's a bit better.
I love that. I just love the contrast between these two characters. It's completely like, one moment they are, cuddled up together, and the next minute they are like, "Get off me." It does feel very cat-like.
Poor babes. Poor everyone in this situation.
Yeah. Right, we've been doing this for 2 hours now. How are you feeling? How are you holding up?
I'm doing good. I'm good.
Okay.
How is everyone in the chat?
How is everybody in the chat? Lou calling us out in the chat. "Poor character," says the writer, "putting them into situations." It's true. That's what we like to do.
We are the problem. We've caused this.
Yes. It gives me very much Stranger Than Fiction energy. Though I'm really hoping these two aren't real, because that would be dreadful. Yes. It's all good. So what are you going to put behind them? Are you going to put like a bench or?
No, I was just going to keep it as a box,
Yeah, fair.
just part of the panel.
Mm-hmm.
I have somewhere in this mountain of layers. I do have a rucksack there, and I was going to maybe put a tent. You're laughing at my rucksack.
Yeah, a rucksack. Yeah.
Got to get the head in there. Right.
I feel like you should just draw the rucksack with lots of laughter around it at some point. If you don't mind, I'm gonna very quickly go grab a drink. So
Okay.
there's nothing in the chat. I'll be back in like 5 minutes.
Chat, go crazy.
Go crazy, chat.
I can't see you.
Liz Horan saying goodbye. So I gotta go eat some dinner. It's been fun watching. The comic is coming along really well.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Liz.
stopping by. Have good dinner.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm just gonna quickly, very quickly disappear. I'll be back momentarily. Georgia, do you still want your voice to be on? You're good with that? Okay.
I'm good.
Cool. Right. Lou's like, quick, misbehave while they're away. Fine. Right, I'll see you guys in a second. I'm just gonna go grab a cup of tea because I am nothing if not predictable when it comes to Britishisms. Right, we'll be back in a sec.
Right. Nobody noticed that I've just copied a hand and stuck it over. I hate drawing hands. I've drawn many a hand sheet, which is like an expression sheet, but only for hands. And animators sort of either use it for reference or copy and paste it when needed, when doing certain kinds of animation. And I still can't draw hands. They are the bane of my life. Oh. That'll do. That's vaguely hand-shaped. And that. Actually, the less I draw it, the... You can't see me, but I'm trying to do the pose so I can work out what the hand look like. Right. Except it's the hand is not in the right place for me to draw it based on reference, so whoop. She's definitely doing something. There we go. That looks... That's okay. Yeah. Thank you, Maddie. Alright, now we're going to try and make this look like it's the same thing as this. You know, I need to remember to fix something that's going on here and I'm not sure what it is. It's not quite working. Where's the middle panel gone? That's some of it. Another bit of it. Where'd the rest of it go? Was it part of that? Nope. Oh, there's some of it. Ah, okay. There we go. See what we can do to make this look a bit more cohesive. I see what I've done. I've drawn it differently every single time. I am very self-conscious that I can't see the chat. So I hope this is all making sense and that you can hear me. I'm not much of a chatterer. I usually rely on Theo for that. He's very good at chatting. I feel like I'm going to flip this around in a minute and it's going to have a lot going on. But that's alright, that's why we flip it. Definitely going to need to fix that. I always take this version of Jeremy's front view, again, from a version where I was drawing in a slightly different style, and so it never quite matches up to his other faces that I draw. I did start to do a turnaround of him a little while ago, and then probably somewhere, and I should probably find it and finish it, because that would be very useful if I'm drawing more stuff. Cuties.
Hello.
Hello.
What did I miss?
Just me.
Just you bobbling.
Just me.
So, Lou has said in the chat,
Mhm.
quickly misbehave while they're away. Made
Yep.
George Possum tee hee hee. Lou then said, does anyone like drawing hands? Then made George Possum replied, I can't draw hands, says person paid to draw hands.
I mean, to be fair, it was quite a few years ago, and yeah, definitely didn't retain that knowledge.
It's all looking good to me.
Trying to make them look more cohesive now. Then I may stop. I may stop for the night.
Of course.
Now that the bottom panel has been tackled and sketched.
You have done a good job.
Thank you.
Looks great. I just love their little. Lou says, welcome to Twitch streaming. Your chat will lovingly bully you.
I am here to be lovingly bullied, please.
Amazing. So is this just so I can get my head around it, is this the expression that Maddie and Jeremy are making? Or is this the expression that Johnny and Mina are making as they realise they're changing? How have you pictured it in your head?
It's the expression you make when you've suddenly woken up in the middle of
the night. Yeah.
Cuddling the man that you do not like. Cuddling the person you are currently in a several-week-long bickering argument with.
Yep, that sounds about right. And the same for Jeremy, I guess, as well. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
I love the way you draw, Maddie.
Mm.
To be fair, I love the way you draw both of them.
Their designs have not changed.
No.
At all. Ever, really.
Yeah, I've always imagined her with very similar, like, this hairstyle. This hairstyle was, like, we've been discussing Jeremy and Maddie on and off for the last almost 5 years that we've known each other.
Yeah.
Well, no, it'd be 4 years. 4 years, sorry.
Yeah, 4 years in a couple of days.
Yeah. Crazy. And we discussed these OCs, and we were like, yeah, we should do something with that. And it took us 4 years to do something with it, but here we are, and other people now know them, which is quite insane. But in the best way. Okay, as we're finishing up, is there any questions that anyone has in the chat or wants to ask before we finish for the night? And safely finish in the last next 5 minutes or so?
Yeah.
Obviously, as mentioned, George and I will be in person at the Audio Drama Podfest this weekend, which sort of technically starts tomorrow. There's a social tomorrow night in High Wycombe at the venue. So if you
can join on stream if you're not able to.
Yeah, you can join on stream for the event on Saturday. I think there are still tickets for that. But yes, Lou will see us tomorrow because George and I will be helping out on the day as podcast helpers. So that's all be very, very exciting. And yeah, I think that's really it. So let's let Georgia finish up and just double check
I'll
this.
finish there with that expression from Maddie.
Well, she looks so sweet.
There's definitely much to be fixed, but I'll fix that slowly at a later date.
I love it. But yeah, I think we're basically ended the stream then. Thank you to everyone who has come today to see us. It's meant a lot. We had a solid amount of views for the whole time, which is good for a 2-hour over a 2-hour stream. So thank you all for coming. And we'll definitely do this again because I think it was quite successful.
Yeah, it's been good fun. If people have anything they'd like me to draw, please let me know. I will do that.
Yeah, give people a bit more notice for the drawing stream next time as well.
Yeah,
we weren't too good at letting people know until
we weren't
late.
sure if we kind of wanted to interview Sean as a Halloween thing, but unfortunately he's busy and could only do next week. So I'm filling in, but I'd love to do this again. If you'd like to have me.
Yeah. And obviously catch you hopefully for the next one. We had a comment, Call Me Law. Haven't talked much today, but I've enjoyed listening to you guys. Thank you so much.
Hey, thank you.
And yeah, we've been doing this for 2.5 hours. It's a long time to be babbling and drawing. So I think we've done good. Yeah. Well, I'm going to sign off here. So what will happen is, just for George's benefit, is I will put up our ident and then we will end it. Elliot said it was so cool to see the drawing process, so thank you for sharing.
Thank you. I hope it was useful and entertaining. This is my first time ever doing a drawing stream. I've never drawn live before in this capacity, so I hope it was good. Hope it was good fun, and I'll definitely try and do it again.
It was very cool. I had a good time. You did a good job. It looks great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hopefully I was here to be your... Hopefully it was fun having you here. Just babbling with you. Okay, cool. Right, with that then, I'm going to turn off our microphones, show off the ident, and then that'll be the end of the stream. So thank you guys again for joining us. We'll end on this little panel. I think it is.
Alright.
So good. And speak to you guys very soon. Thank you, everyone.